say it. Like it's the
The
best. It's some of the best TV I've seen this year. It's a close second for me personally. It's a close second behind Shogun. But I've only watched episode one. You said you've watched three or four of them.
I think
Uh,
I'm at 4 right now. I will. Yeah, I'm in there. I'm in
so
there.
and I really wanted to talk to you about this because you are a very big fan of the series. You've played quite a few of the games. Like, how do you kind of feel like the show holds up to the franchise as a whole? Like, do you feel like it represents the franchise well? Because I don't really have a
See, the thing is,
baseline.
right?
You know what I mean? Like to look
You
at it.
don't need to. That's
So
the joys. I think with this, and I was telling my brother yesterday about X Men '97.
yeah,
I think what makes these shows good is you can just get in there and watch it.
right.
There's no need to especially with comic book movies, to where you have to, especially in Marvel's universe, where a lot of people feel like you have to watch like certain amount of movies or different movies to kind of watch a new one.
Yeah, yeah,
And then, but I was telling him like, no, X-Men. I was like, just go watch it. Just watch it.
yeah.
You'll
If you
enjoy it.
guys are man,
And,
oh god,
but we're here to talk about Fallout. We'll talk about X-Men later.
yeah,
Fallout is in the same situation, man. Fallout, like, you don't need to really have played the games, because the thing about Fallout is, I'm only familiar with Fallout 3 and 4. I never played the OG one or part 2. Um, it was yeah. My knowledge is just 3 and 4. So if y'all want to chime in with the 1 and 2 knowledge, like I said, hit us up anytime. But you don't need to know the story, because it's in the world, but it's not continuous. Like 3 and 4 are two different stories in the same world.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
So
there's no like real like you are the protagonist. There's no like named
yeah.
protagonist of the
Like they
okay.
pick us, like there's a story like part 3. God, it's been so long since I played 3. All I know is basically, like, toward the end, you're trying to purify the world, some water purifier. I can't remember. I have to look it up. It's been a long time since I played 3. 4 is more relatable to the show,
Yeah.
because on 4, you're a guy whose family is killed and they kidnap your baby son, and you go out into the world looking
Oh,
for your son.
Jesus.
On the show, it's, there's a girl looking for her father. So, they kind of relatable
So
in
for the
that
people,
sense.
so for the people who don't know, what's like a quick elevator pitch for like the Fallout series as a whole? Because like
I would say if
I
you're
know
into sci-fi,
little stuff here and there. So it's like it was an apocalyptic, nukes were dropped on the earth.
apocalyptic sci-fi thriller,
Yeah.
like if that's your bag, you will fit right in here. It blends in a lot of these elements, and if you're familiar with the game, it's a lot of like Easter eggs and little things from the game that they put in there. Like, for example, right, when the ghoul, aka Mr. No Nose, that's what I call him, when he was in that
Voldemort's
shootout.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah, when he was in that shootout and it was going in slow motion, that's actually in the game. That's one of the things in the game where they do that real slow mo, and you could like
Oh,
zoom in on
yeah.
individual
Okay.
body parts.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of little Easter eggs, like with the dog meat, the iguana meat and stuff like that. Like, there's these little bitty sprinkles of the video game in there, and
Yeah.
people who are Fallout fanatics, they'll be like, "Oh, ha ha ha," but I don't think there's humor in there, but it's well placed. It's not like over the like forced, and you're like, "Oh, that was
Yeah.
corny."
Yeah.
But it's extremely violent. It's a violent show.
Oh yes. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. I
it's
think
very
that's something that
gory.
kind of surprised me was
But Fallout is, if you
yeah.
play the game Fallout, it's, people tend to think that when you hear video games, you kind of like, you immediately don't think violent, but at the same time, it's like, yo, yeah, Fallout's pretty gruesome, the video game. So you get these moments on the show where, like I said, you have these little moments of, oh, that was in the game. That's cool.